Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J, live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. And as I mentioned a few minutes ago, we're definitely excited about the interview that we're about to have with two dynamic ladies that I'm happy to be able to bring to you guys, the listeners of Ain't No Half Stepping with Marcus J, live here on Legacy Internet Radio. Now, many people have seen the hit movie Girls Trip. Many people have seen it. And we've all seen the masses and masses of sisters going to the theaters, you know, together to see it. But the two sisters that I have on the live line with us tonight, they did a little bit more than that. And we're going to talk to them about that. First up, I want to introduce them to you. Our sister Makeda Nurse is a nurse manager from Philadelphia, owner of a blog, Makeda is in Her Feelings. And our sister Shon Graham is an accounts payable rep here in Richmond, Virginia, and she is the creator of Massive Girls Night Out. They had very similar ideas, and their ideas came together in the way that we're getting ready to talk to you about. So I am very happy and honored to bring to you our sisters Makeda and Shon. Sisters, how y'all doing?
Good evening.
Hi, Marcus.
How you guys doing? I'm so happy to talk to you guys. You guys are really awesome, by the way. Let me get like that piece out just to let y'all know how dope y'all are. So thank you. So I want to make sure that I get like the whole story out. So Shon, I want you to go first. I'm gonna ask you a question. Have you and Makeda ever met each other?
No, we have not met one another. We were actually complete strangers when this thing all began. It's just ironic that we both had the same idea. She's in Philly. Of course, I'm RVA all day. And just it's crazy that this movie kind of brought us together. We haven't had the pleasure of meeting in person yet, but we talk all the time, and Makeda's my girl now.
You know, I'm glad that you said it that way. Makeda, I'm glad you said it that way because that was the way I wanted to jumpstart the discussion. The fact that you've got sisters that are about 250, 300 miles apart, Richmond and Philadelphia, for those folks who may not be familiar with the dynamics of where they are, and they've met each other through social media and then through this show, this movie. So, Makeda, talk to me a little bit about how that started.
How the movie got started, or how me?
Well, how you and Shon's friendship got started?
Well, actually, it came together by a journalist. His name was Kyle, who put an article together, and it included me and Shon together. Who, again, she's in Virginia and I'm in Philly, and we did a similar thing with Girls Trip, where we brought together a number of women together for this movie. And me and her met through the article. So ever since, we've been friends. We talk almost every day. So
right.
It's like I've always known her.
Right. Well, that's the cool thing, because you guys are obviously somewhat like kindred spirits. So, Shon, tell me about exactly what you were doing that you were able to draw the attention of this journalist. Let's start from the beginning.
Oh, well, it all started with I went to see a movie with my mom, and while we were waiting for that movie to start, there was a preview for another movie that came on the screen for Girls Trip. And I got an idea just sitting in the theater. I said, this would be dope to go see with a few of my girlfriends. Fast forward a few weeks later, I was at work, and I had an idea to make a post to invite about 5 of my girlfriends to see the movie and have them each invite a girlfriend. I made the post, and within a matter of minutes, it took off. And it was just crazy how it all came about. But it went from me planning a girls' trip or girls' night of about 10 to 15 women to ultimately selling out 2 movie theaters. And so, it was awesome. It was awesome. But it wasn't a grand idea of mine to do this. It just kind of happened organically.
Right. Makeda, tell me about your side of what you were doing that drew the attention of the journalist.
Well, actually, I normally do something every month for women to come together, and mine started with in the month before. A few of us got together to see Rough Night for Girls Night, which was the movie that came out the month before Girls Trip, and everybody already had their eye on the movie Girls Trip. So a lot of people asked me, did I plan on doing a screening for it? Unfortunately, my feelings was hurt because I couldn't get the pre-screening. But I'm like, okay, let me send out there and see how many women is still interested to see it a week later. So I put it out there, and it like tripled from the first time me and the girls went out and took off.
So I'm basically hearing pretty much a similar story from the two of you, one in Richmond and one in Philadelphia, which I think is outstanding. I know just from being I haven't seen the movie, but I know pretty much every sister that I know for the most part has seen the movie, and you all rave about how great it is. But for me, it wasn't an issue of me not wanting to go see it. It just the timing didn't work out for me to actually get to see it. But what I really like to see, and I want you both to address this, Shon first, but what I really liked was the solidarity and the sisterhood that came from seeing sisters, women, coming together around something as small as a movie, because I knew that there was going to be some bonding that was going to go on that would be helpful towards healing other things. Shon, speak to that for me.
Absolutely. The beauty of this movie is it allowed women, to come together and just show that it's possible for us to all get along. It's possible for us to all have a great night out with no drama, with no cattiness. And I think this movie gave us an opportunity to prove that. It also opened doors that I could never imagine would have been open otherwise. It allowed me to introduce myself to a mass number of women and also allowed them to introduce themselves to me. We now, because of this, and I'm sure we'll touch on this later, but we've now gone from this to planning the biggest party on the sea, which is the Sisters Cruise for 2018, which is what we're now in the works of planning. But it's just a beautiful thing. I think every woman who attended that movie saw themselves in one of the four characters, if not all of the four characters, and it was a beautiful thing, Right.
What's your thoughts on that, Makeda?
I agree absolutely. That was the main thing. The movie was such a success because even me sitting there, you can see a piece of you with every character that was in a movie. And I think that created a closeness with the women who just came out to see it. Everybody was excited about it. Like she said, it was no drama. We came together, with so many women. Usually something occurs, but nothing occurred. People actually got close. People actually met women that they didn't know. People walked in with no friends and walked out with multiple friends. So it was extremely exciting.
Right. No, I'm excited hearing you guys speak. A lot of times, you get these negative stereotypes that will come out, and to hear you guys say that none of that stuff was present is definitely a great thing. And, I have Stephen with Marcus J. live from the den of Legacy Internet Radio. We're talking to our sisters, Shon and Makeda. They are doing outstanding things as social media mavens who have met each other unofficially, because they haven't actually met each other, but they met each other through social media and through their unintended works towards getting folks to go see the movie Girls Talk. Let's talk a little bit about what's next. We saw how you guys as individual works in Richmond and Philadelphia kind of led you towards each other, and how you have become sisters. I'll be honest with you, let me just detour for a second. I would love to be there that day y'all actually meet each other. I would love to be there. You have no idea. I would love to be there and whatnot. I know, you guys probably got something planned and you'll do something great, but take pictures for real, because I need to see it. You promise? You promise? You promise?
I'm a picture queen, so I promise. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, good. So back to what I was going to say now, you guys actually came together through your individual walks.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you guys have become sisters and have kind of joined forces, you guys got something that you're working on together. Share with the listening audience so ain't no have several Marcus J what that is. Makeda, go first, and then Shon jump in behind it.
Absolutely.
Well, we are planning a massive Sisters Cruise in 2018, which we are really excited about. We really can't wait to bring the North and the South together. The women are really excited. People have been responding to us by numbers just because we came together for these two events. And now the women are just so excited, and they can't wait for us to get this cruise, this massive Sisters Cruise together for 2018. I think it's going to be a blast. It's going to be a chance for women who haven't got together in a long time to come together. Women from up here, up north, to down here, down south. I just can't wait. I think it's going to be amazing.
Shon, what's your thoughts?
Absolutely. So we're planning this cruise. We named it the Sisters Cruise, which is actually an acronym. It stands for Sailing and Sisterhood to Encourage Real Solidarity. And so we are enthused. We cannot wait. It's going to be August 2018. We'll post more details in the near future. I do ask that everyone follow us on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. You can find us at The Sisters Cruise on each of those. And, yeah, we're excited. We're super excited. We want women from all over to join us. This is not just a Sisters Cruise. We want this to become a movement.
Yeah, I'm envisioning. I don't know if my opinion, because I'm not a sister, but I don't know if my opinion matters. But I'm your brother. I'm your brother. But I don't know if my opinions matter. But I tell you, I can see this growing where you guys are doing this every year, and not only doing cruises, but I envision it being even bigger than that, because I know that there's a dearth of positive people in our community doing things to bring masses of people together from beyond normal borders. Here's what I mean. Shon, just from being in Richmond, there's a number of organizations here locally that are doing wonderful things. They have all kinds of events, and you probably go to them. Hey, I may have been in some place next to you and just didn't know you. But that people do it on a local scale. I know a little bit about Philadelphia. I had some family there in the 80s and the 90s. I don't any longer, but I also know that there's a lot of stuff that goes on there culturally. But when we expand it beyond our normal borders, you guys are going to be bringing in sisters from all over the country. Now, you guys ready for what's coming?
We ready.
You guys ready? Are you?
We ready.
Absolutely.
We are ready.
I tell you, I'm excited about it, and I'm ready to see it as well. Now, I set this up in the beginning, Makeda. I mentioned the blog, Makeda'sInHerFeelings.com. Shon, I'm going to come to you in just a second, but Makeda, tell us about the blog and tell us about how it started and how folks that are listening right now can support you and support it.
Well, my blog, Makeda's in Her Feelings, really started as one day I was just having a really bad day. And I was sitting there I wish I had somebody to talk to. And I actually just jotted it down on a piece of paper, Makeda's in Her Feelings, because I was sitting with something. And I was like, a few days later, what if I started a blog and just put my feelings out there just to see if there's other women out there who's feeling the same, maybe have some opinions, or maybe there's a topic that they're sitting with that they want other women to comment on. So that's how my blog started. I just jumped out there. I started a video, and women started coming to me like, oh, my God, I'm in my feelings too, I was just thinking that, and that's just how it got started.
Wow. How long has it been going on?
It's now been about maybe 6 months.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely glad that you're doing that, because I'll be honest with you, I went to school for journalism. I love to write. I love that sort of thing, and I oftentimes will jot certain things down just to kind of get it off my chest. So I can certainly appreciate, how you, could do that. A lot of times it'll come from, not necessarily, despair or anything, but it can come from a place of, I just need to get this off my chest right quick. And
absolutely,
the fact that it's giving you, it's giving you comfort, but it's also kind of, led you towards where we're doing this thing here with Shon. I'm definitely glad to see you doing that. Shon, talk to us a little bit about the Massive Girls Night Out hashtag.
Absolutely. If you are interested in anything that Massive Girls Night Out has coming up or has done, simply type in hashtag Massive Girls Night Out. You will find pictures, posts, all that good stuff. We are in the works of planning a number of things for Massive Girls Night Out. The next thing coming up is I have a Feeding the Homeless event that I plan on bringing all 339 ladies I brought out to that movie event, if not more, out to a local park here in Richmond, Virginia to feed the homeless. And so I plan on doing that for Thanksgiving. So that's the next event that's coming up for us. And, again, please follow the hashtag to keep abreast of everything going on.
I can dig it. Ain't no half-stepping with Marcus J. live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. In closing, I want to give you each an opportunity to just share whatever you'd like to share about your individual blog, your group thing. On this show, when we close out our show, we always do what we call our rant in our closing, where we rant about whatever it is that's in our spirit and our soul, where we kind of do our final salutation. So I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to do that. So I guess I'll have you go first, Shon, since you were just talking. Have you go ahead and close out with your final statement on what we've been talking about here tonight.
Okay. I think it's important in this day and age to come together as much as possible. I know that some people may look at this as simply a group of women getting together, but to us, it's much more than that. Especially with everything that's going on in Charlottesville, it's just simply a reminder that we have enough in terms of people who are against us, and it should just serve as a reminder how important it is that we as a people come together.
Since you mentioned that, and I was going to avoid getting to it, but since you mentioned it, any thoughts on Charlottesville? Anything you want to share?
I think it's important. I hear a lot that we need to pray, but I think prayer without action is dead. And I think that it's important that we voice our concerns, but we also put action into place as well. I think it's deplorable what's going on there. It's heartbreaking. But again, it should serve as a reminder that we can't expect other races and other nationalities to respect us as a whole when we don't respect ourselves as a whole. So I think it's important first that we take care of how we look at one another and how we treat one another, and put some action into place. I think it's definitely a very sad day for Charlottesville, but not just Charlottesville, for the world.
Right. No, I agree. I definitely agree. Makeda, final statement or anything you may want to share or any feelings on what happened in Charlottesville yourself?
I'm feeling just like Shon is saying, and this little piece that we're putting together is really a start in the right direction. Like she said, you have to have some action to make positive things happen. And I think with me and Shon, that's both of our goals, is to bring our sisters together in a positive light, just to show the world that we can do things together without being on the news or elsewhere, So
right.
Follow us.
No. I agree. I just want to close by saying that it's been my honor to talk to you ladies. I look forward to hearing about the story when you guys actually get a chance to meet each other. And so you already promised to make sure that there's pictures, so I'm going to hold you to that promise. And Shon, obviously you're here in Richmond, Virginia, RVA, in the capital city. So you got an invitation to come on in the Den, hang out with us at any time. I look forward to that. Makeda, if you're ever in the Richmond, Virginia area, I extend the exact same invitation to you as well. So I'm very, very proud of you, sisters, my sisters, And I look forward to all the outstanding things that you guys are going to do going forward. That's from my heart.
Oh, thank you so much for having us on. We appreciate it.
You got it. Hold the line for me, okay? Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. We were talking to our sisters, Shon and Makeda. We were talking about Massive Girls Night Out. And we're also talking about Makeda's In Her Feelings. And we're also talking about the great, great things that they're going to do with bringing sisters from all over the country together. I'm Marcus J. They are Shon and Makeda. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to get into some more about what went on in Charlottesville, Virginia. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. Be back in a few.